Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Bed Wars. Now actually, I've decided that this video is going to be called Lord of the Beds, and that's because I wanted to talk about Lord of the Rings. Now, Lord of the Rings is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love the second movie. It's the best. It's so good. Oh, I watched it so many times. Specifically, I like the middle of the second movie. That scene with Helm's Deep, where everyone's battling it out in a giant fight. It's so interesting, right? I like just the whole battle. Like I haven't watched it in months, but I remember when I was staying at my friend's house, I watched Lord of the Rings 3 times in the same day. Okay, I stayed up for way too long that day. I didn't have much to do, if I'm being honest, but it was worth it. It was awesome. I've got that movie ingrained into my soul. The movie. I got the 6 hours of that, the mega movie, whatever. So good. But recently, Amazon, okay, it wasn't recent. It was like 4 months ago, but whatever. Recently, Amazon announced that they were doing a new thing called the Rings of Power. And now I don't actually have a problem with that. I think it's kind of cool. Yeah, new audience. However, for one thing, and also, I was going to say, for one thing, Amazon has done a good job on some shows recently. They made, why is the gold big again? Anyway, they made The Boys, which I thought was a very good show. It was very fun, lively, adventurous, a little bit bloody. Mostly, it had well-written characters. Yeah, just destroy that guy. Very well-written characters, and I like well-written characters, okay? I like good stories, and I like well-written characters. And I really wish that the Rings of Power was written by a writer who I had confidence in. But I do not have confidence in this guy. Oh, ouch. Hey, can of beans. Wait. We're both on the same team. Yes. Ha 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 ha. Bean and bean. Although I'm not bean right now. I'm risen. Anyway. Oh no. Team Y. Anyway. Still sick, by the way. Like I was saying, they released a trailer, and a lot of people started getting grumpy online about the fact that they were changing the race of some of the elf characters. And they made them black, which is really weird. And I think one of them is like Asian or like Hispanic or something. I can't jump. I just can't jump today. And people were a little bit affronted at that because, oh no, you're changing the Tolkien. Oh, why would you do that? But here's the thing. I'm not actually affronted at that. I think that's cool. Tolkien doesn't have to have written black characters into the story for them to exist. There are all sorts of stories that don't have black characters. In which black characters obviously exist, like I don't know, like any story written in ancient China, black characters exist in that world. What the heck are you doing, man? Oh my gosh, my teammate is awful. I hate my teammate. Oh my gosh, my dude, I am so upset at my teammate right now. So salt. Why would you do that to us? You did that to us. I blame you for our loss. I don't even know if it was you. I can't look back at the footage, man. Whoever did the stupid building while the enemy was there, still. Oh my gosh. Back to the main point of the video. I don't actually have a problem with that. However, I do have a problem with something very, very, very important, which is that Tolkien. It's a little bit of a segue, but Tolkien really cared about realism in his world. He cared about it so much that he did he tortured himself over a bunch of like moon sequences so that they would line up when they were time traveling in the magic forest or whatever. I haven't actually read Lord of the Rings, but I've heard what's his name, the D&D guy, Matt Colville. I've heard Matt Colville talking about it, and Matt Colville seems to have read Lord of the Rings, so I trust him. And he says that Mr. Tolkien really cared about realism. And you know what? I believe him. So, if Tolkien cared about realism, and they're black elves, obviously, there must be a black elf group, like a bunch of people. They have to come from somewhere, right? Which is really cool, because it gives you room to expand on Tolkien's work. Yeah? You get me? Okay, good. And here's the problem. He's just a Sylvan elf. He's like Legolas's brother or dad or something. Like, what? He's a Sylvan elf? That doesn't make any sense. You know what Sylvan elves are? That's like if I went to Africa and I was like, you see this white guy? He's actually a Hutu, and you've got to believe me. He's Hutu. I promise you. He's just the same as any other Hutu. Don't worry about it. It's for diversity. And the Africans are like, he's not Hutu, dude. And I'm like, oh, you're racist. And they're like, what? No, we're just saying he's not Hutu because he's white, and Hutu aren't white. Like, that's part of what they are. It's like saying Chinese are black. I mean, some of them are actually pretty dark skinned, but that they're not African. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me, and that's basically the whole thing. There's so many stories where you could get away with it, and no one would care. Get away with it, where you could have it happen, and no one would care. Who the heck did? Why? Why would you use it, dude? You know, I'm gonna aggro on you now, Red. You just got my wrath, Red. Anyway, but you know, races are defined by where you live. No, they aren't. No, obviously they're not. If you live in America, your race is not American. That's not even a thing. I don't know what you're talking about. Who blew me up earlier? Sebi. Okay. Oh, I got Sebi. Yeah, I got Sebi. Take that. Probably a child, unfortunately. And here's the thing. They could easily explain. I don't think any fans would have... Okay, I think there would be some fans who would have a problem. If they made a new character part of a race, but they made him a different race in the real world, that race is complicated. But basically, if they cast like a Hispanic actor to play a Gondorian, like people would grumble about that. What the heck? Okay. Yeah, I mean, people would grumble a little bit, maybe. But they would actually be the ones in the wrong. So now instead of that, imagine if they made like a new race of people called the Kodar or whatever, and they were Hispanic. Like the group was mostly Hispanic. The races of the actors, something like that. Oh no. Now, the question is, do you think the Kodar are a problem? Because, you know, Kodar didn't exist in Lord of the Rings. Well, I don't think they're a problem. I think they're a cool, neat idea, right? If they have any more character traits, please. They can't just be Hispanic people, because that's weird. That would be strange to put that in Lord of the Rings. If you have Hispanic actors playing them, that's fine. Even though they didn't actually exist in Lord of the Rings, it's fine. They can exist. They can exist just fine. What are you doing, man? What are you doing, man? Okay, I'm gonna actually back off of you because I have a bunch of emeralds. So if they added a new race of people that they had designed themselves, but they're not creative, so they're not going to do that. They're not creative enough to design their own characters. Okay, they are creative enough to design their own characters. They're not creative enough to design their own races for those characters, their own identities for those characters that are outside of Tolkien's original work, because I don't know, because they just don't want to, I guess. I mean, it's always possible that they actually did, and I'm just dumb, but I doubt it because I have experience in these things. I don't know if that made any sense at all. We're getting revenge. Yeah, we're getting revenge. We're getting revenge. Race characters. I don't know what I was talking about. I guess that's basically just my point. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so good at this. Anyway, I guess that's just my point. Tolkien wouldn't have liked it, and I don't like it. And I don't like it because Tolkien didn't like it. I don't like it because it's not original. It's not creative. Good job. And I mean, that's not controversial. That's not controversial at all. It's not creative, right? You could have created your own race of people. If you want dark-skinned people in the story, which there are dark-skinned people, but if you want like black people, like African people in the story, then put them in the story more realistically, like add them. I think there are actually Africans in Tolkien's world. It's just that they're not elves. So if you wanted to add black elves to the story, do that. But don't just add one black elf and say, oh, he's actually a Sylvan elf the entire time. And don't worry about it, dude. Don't be racist. It's like, no, I'm not being racist. I'm being, like, realistic, like, serious here. Like, dude. Like, Legolas is not black. Are you saying Legolas is black? Are you saying Legolas was once black? His cousins are black? I don't know what you're saying, man. What are you trying to tell me? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good job, my friend. All right. Now I just need to kill these yellow guys. How do I do that? I'm going to jump down here. And then jump down here. And then... Anyway, there are thousands and thousands of races in the real world. And it's insulting to try to say that you can just put one member of them as a member of another one. Yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it. And I'm going to stop talking about that, and we're going to go back to the game, because the game is more interesting than talking about races, I think, presumably. Hey, oh, that was the last guy. Where did everyone else go? Oh, I don't know. 8 diamonds, though. That's a good way to end. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.